Every day is day one. And the older I get, the more I think that it's one of the most important ideas in business. Because the moment you think you figured it out, you stop learning. I've met some incredible people over the years, founders, CEOs, marketers, leaders, people who've built amazing careers and amazing businesses. And I've noticed something. The people who keep growing aren't necessarily the smartest. They're not always the most experienced, and they're definitely not the most qualified. What separates them is that they've never stopped being students. On the flip side, I've met people who know everything, or at least they think they do. Every answer, every solution, every reason why something won't work, every reason why things should stay exactly as they are. And honestly, those people scare me more, because I don't think that ignorance is the biggest threat to success. I think ego is. Ignorance is an easy fix. You learn, you ask questions, you gain experience, problem solved. Ego is much harder. Ego convinces you that there's nothing left to learn. And that's a dangerous place to be, because the world doesn't stop changing just because you become successful. Look what's happening with AI right now. Some people are experimenting every day, trying things, breaking things, learning, looking a bit stupid, asking questions. Others have already made their mind up. It's a fad. It'll never replace people. It's not relevant to me. I've been doing this too long. And the funny thing is the technology don't care. The people willing to learn will eventually pass the people protecting their expertise, not because they're smarter, but because they're more open. And this isn't just about AI, it's everywhere. I've seen businesses fail because they become too attached to the thing that made them successful in the first place. I've seen marketers refuse to adapt because the old way worked before. I've seen leaders stop listening because experience convinced them that they already had the answer. And almost every time, the outcome is the same. Growth slows, innovation slows, progress slows. Not because they became less capable, but because they became less curious. One of the biggest lessons I've learned building a business is that certainty is often the problem. Every time we've struggled with something at Bind, it's usually because we've become too convinced that we know the answer. Too convinced about a strategy, too convinced about a process. And the breakthrough almost always comes from someone asking a simple question. What if we're wrong? It's amazing how often that question unlocks something. I think we put too much value on expertise, and don't get me wrong, experience matters, knowledge matters, expertise matters, but only if it's combined with humility. Because expertise without humility eventually becomes ego, and ego hates being challenged. Ego hates new ideas. The best people I've worked with all seem to share the same trait. They stay beginners, not because they're inexperienced, but because they chose to be. They approach problems as if there's something they don't know. They ask questions, they challenge assumptions, they listen more than they talk. And because of that, they keep learning, long after everyone else has stopped. I think the most dangerous phrase in business is, I already know. Because the moment you know everything, you stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, someone else passes you. So as far as I'm concerned, every day is day one. Not because I don't have experience, not because I don't have opinions or expertise, but because the world changes too quickly to believe I've figured it all out. And if there's one thing that I've learned, it's this. The people who win aren't the people that know the most. They're the people who stay curious the longest. Peace and love.